Window for Anambra governorship primaries opens for all political parties as heat is now on for the Anambra governorship seat, and who will succeed Governor Willie Obiano. And after 2 months of industrial action by judicial workers, Nigerian courtrooms are opened again, but activities are still not up to speed. Hello everyone and welcome to Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbaloye in Lagos. Let's begin the conversations tonight by telling you that the doors of the court in Nigeria are open again for the first time after 2 months of being shut due to strike action by the Judiciary Workers Union, JUSUN. Although they may have suspended their industrial action, but activities are yet to kick off at the court. A visit to some of the courts in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, where our correspondent shows empty courtrooms and absence of judges and lawyers. Most of the workers who spoke off camera say court proceedings may resume fully tomorrow. The union suspended its industrial action after over 2 months of down tools, following the intervention of the National Judicial Council and other stakeholders over issue of financial autonomy. Before we get into some of the stories that we have for you tonight, because tonight, the whistle has been blown since the 10th of this month for political parties to go to the field and get the person who will succeed Governor Willie Obiano as governor of Anambra State for the next 4 years. The election is on the 6th of November 2021. But before we get into that, let's show you some of your political roundup stories.
The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, today proudly drove a Made in Nigeria electric car at the opening of the exhibition of Made in Nigeria products and cultural display held at Eagle Square, Abuja. The Nigerian-made electric car is called Kono. The Vice President drove in the car in the company of Nigeria Automotive Development Council boss Jelani Aliyu and the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Niyi Adebayo. President Muhammadu Buhari performed the virtual groundbreaking ceremony of the NLNG Train 7 project in Bonny Island, Rivers State, and he has asked that the project be delivered on time so that the Train 8 project can commence. As workers in Nasarawa State begin an indefinite strike today, Governor Abdullahi Sule has asked them not to express their freedom beyond their limits. He made the remarks at an event in Lafia, the state capital. The governor disclosed that payment of salaries and pensions in the state are up to date, the 30,000 minimum wage has been implemented, and that the only issue pending is that of promotions, which has lingered for over 10 years, but he is not sleeping on that.
The only one that is pending and we are still looking at is the situation where people have not been promoted for 13 years and they want us to pay the 13 years. That is the only one pending. And we are looking at that.
The Joint Committee on Army and Defense in the House of Representatives has screened the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahya. This follows a letter from the President seeking his confirmation before the screening went into a closed-door session. The Chief of Army Staff told the lawmakers that his 36 years of experience will help in solving the security problems of the country.
Judging from my experience, it's not one-man job, but it's what could be done or must be done along with others, other services, other agencies, including all stakeholders. Indeed,
Well, before we get talking to our guest tonight on the program, let's tell you that trouble might be brewing in Edo State politics yet again. Well, this is because the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Mr. Philip Shuaibu, has been responding to some criticism or allegations coming from the former chairman of the APC, Adams Oshiomhole. The Deputy Governor says the present administration will not play politics with projects completed, particularly the ones in Edo North. He insists that even in the face of pressure during the campaigns for the 2020 governorship elections that Governor Godwin Obaseki did not waste public funds in commissioning project. Mr. Shaibu stated this when he received a delegation from Okpela community at the government house in Benin City. The Edo State capital said he was reacting to comments allegedly made by former APC chairman Adams Oshiomhole, which according to him discredited the achievements of Mr. Obaseki in Edo North. Interestingly, the two men, former Governor Adams Oshiomhole and the Deputy Governor, are from this region of the state. Take a listen to the Deputy Governor.
It's talking about road. We are not talking about road in this government because road is a given. Go to United States, when you listen to campaigns in the advanced country, they are not campaigning about roads, or water or electricity. They are campaigning about policies that will shaping livelihood, that will strengthen institutions so that the institution will be stronger than individual. That is what they talk. And that is the kind of government this governor is running. Not government of road and government. That is a given. First term, I remember you party leaders were always coming to say, let's commission our project. Let's commission our project. And we say, no. The projects are already have been commissioned by the people that are using it. That we will not waste government resources to be organizing fun fair in the name of commissioning of project.
So tonight, our spotlight falls on Anambra State, where the people will, in November, determine who will be the next governor. But before we get talking about that, there's some information that you need to know. So the election is for the 6th of June. The election is for the 6th of November, 2021. So there you see, the notice of election has been given. The collation of firms, the conduct of party primaries, for example, has started from the 10th of June, and it will go on until the 1st of July. And that's where you'll find politicians now, they are on the field trying to get candidates. We are understanding now that some political parties have already decided who their candidates will be. Well, if you flip the page, so you get a sense of all the activities lined up for this election. The submission of the forms, after all of those are done, it will be done online and it's going to be validated. INEC will also get to reply and confirm some of these names. The last day for the submission of nominations form is already there until the date of election, which INEC says it's going to be Saturday, the 6th of November, 2021. So you see who succeeds Obiano. Willie Obiano, the governor of Anambra State, well, is concluding his second term, so he's not qualified to run again. So the search is on for who succeeds him. So take a look at the snapshot. Now, the 6th of November 2021 is election day. The primaries have since began from the 10th of June and it will end on the 1st of July 2021. That gets us talking. A lot of controversy already brewing in that state ahead of that exercise, where INEC has blown the whistle, not for campaigns, but for the party primaries. I'm being joined by INEC National Commissioner for Publicity and Voter Education, Mr. Festus Okoye. Thank you so much, Mr. Okoye, for joining us tonight. Give us a sense on a general note, because, well, we do here, INEC will say, we are fully prepared and we are fully ready. This time around, has anything changed? Is INEC fully prepared and fully ready?
Yes, we are ready for the conduct of the November 6th, 2021 Anambra governorship election. As you are aware, before we had the incident in Anambra State, this particular commission had already deployed 50% of the non-sensitive materials required for the conduct of that particular election. But after the incident of Sunday, the 23rd day of May 2021, where we lost 376 generating sets, got our collation center burnt, lost 7 utility vehicles, and the rest of them. This particular commission has remobilize to Anambra State. We are trying to put in shape all the things that have been destroyed so that as we move towards the date of the election, we are not going to have any challenges. So we are moving quickly to recover from that particular incident, and we are confident that the election will go on as scheduled.
So when you say that you have deployed 50% of the non-sensitive materials, has INEC determined the political parties that will run? How many are there if you have?
Well, as at the close of the period for the giving of notice of intention to conduct party primaries, as we are aware, going by the provisions of the Electoral Act, every political party that is registered by the Commission that intends to nominate candidates for various, for the Anambra governorship election is obligated to give the Commission a 21-day notice of its intention to conduct party primaries. At the close of that particular window, a total of 18 political parties gave notice of their intention to conduct primaries to nominate candidates that will be their flag bearers for the Anambra governorship election. And they have also indicated in that particular notice the dates when they are going to conduct their party primaries in accordance with the timetable and schedule of activities that this particular commission rolled out. So some of the political parties are already out there in the field. One political party ought to have conducted their party primaries going by their own schedule and their own timetable. And then the rest, most of them are going to conduct their party primaries this month, with just one of them giving an indication that it will conduct his party primaries on the 1st day of July, 2021.
So 18 political parties, good information that you have given us tonight. Although I'm aware that a lot of political parties, some of those whom INEC deregistered, have gone to court to say they were not part of the judgment of the Supreme Court. Are you listening to those kind of political parties? Are they part of those one that you have allowed to be part of this exercise?
No, the 18 political parties that indicated their intention to conduct primaries for the nomination of their candidates are the 18 political parties registered by the Independent National Electoral Commission. It is only those 18 political parties that we are listening to. In relation to the matters that are in the Supreme Court, this commission will only listen to the Supreme Court. So some of those matters are still pending in the Supreme Court, and whatever decision or whatever determination the Supreme Court makes, this particular commission will obey. But as of today, as far as the commission is concerned, we have only 18 registered political parties in Nigeria, and it is only those 18 that are going to field candidates for this particular election. But in fielding candidates, we are only going to recognize political parties that follow the letters and spirit of the law in conducting their party primaries. But as of today, 18 political parties registered in Nigeria have given an indication that they want to field candidates, and we are going to monitor their primaries.
Okay, we are due for break now, but quickly before we go on break, because I need to also ask you, several of these political parties you have mentioned are in trouble in terms of administrative leadership of their political parties, which will determine those who are legally permitted to conduct the primaries. It seems a lot of troubles are already rearing its head. Part of the issue is that INEC is conducting asking for primaries early enough so that the pre-election matters will be concluded long before the election starts. But give us a sense of the Electoral Act permits two kinds of political primaries, direct and indirect. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's go for a break. When we come back, there are a lot of issues. PDP, APC, ABGA, AAC, AA. There are trouble in some of these political parties ahead of the primaries that have since started and ahead of the election. Don't go anywhere. INEC will be giving us updates as to who it recognizes for this election and these processes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us right here on Politics Studio Channels Television. Our attention is on Anambra State, where election has been scheduled to hold on the 6th of November 2021, and the primaries have since began since the 10th of June, and it will end on the 1st of July. So that's the timetable for you there. Of the election and what INEC says it will do leading up to the election of November the 6th, 2021. So who succeeds Willie Obiano? That's our attention tonight. The man who is spending the last few months of his second term in office. So 18 political parties, from what INEC has showed us tonight, will be in that race. But who will be the man that will emerge victorious? The parties, some of them have not decided yet who becomes their flag bearer. Mr. Festus Okoye is the INEC National Commissioner in charge of voter education and publicity. He's in our Abuja studio talking to us tonight. Thank you so much, Mr. Okoye. Let's get it a few issues clear. Give us a sense of, you've told us that the mode of primaries remain direct and indirect because we're already hearing, I asked that question for the understanding of some political parties who perhaps are trying to do outside of these two because it's a provision of the Electoral Act. So you cannot do a primaries outside of those two provisions. But give us a sense of what INEC will be doing and what we need to expect. Anything different? For example, are we still going to have an electronic transmission of results the way we saw in past elections?
Well, in relation to the issue of party primaries, out of the 18 political parties that indicated their intention to conduct party primaries, 17 of them indicated their intention to conduct indirect primaries, while one political party told the commission that it will conduct direct primaries. Now, for political parties that are going to conduct indirect primaries, this commission has also written to all the political parties on the need for them to comply strictly with the provisions of the Constitution and also with the provisions of the Electoral Act in relation to the conduct of their party primaries. In other words, they must set out very, very clearly the method of electing their delegates who are going to be the major determinants of who gets elected. Secondly, we have also made it very clear to them that the list of the delegates that are going to vote at the party primaries must be ready, and the commission must see that particular list at least 7 days to the conduct of the party primaries. The political parties are already aware of this particular provision. We have also made it very clear that only political parties that conduct primaries will be given the access code to submit the list and personal particulars of the candidates the political parties want to nominate. So if you have given us an indication that you are going to conduct party primaries and you end up not conducting party primaries, the implication is that you are not going to be given any access code in relation to the uploading of the list and personal particulars of your candidates. The one other issue that is very germane, that is fundamental, is the fact that by the provisions of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended, the commission will only recognize and monitor party primaries conducted by the National Executive Committee of the political party. No state organ of the party has the right or the virus to conduct any party primaries. So at the end of the party primaries, we are going to give the access code to our portal to the national chairman and national secretary of the political parties for purposes of uploading the list and the personal particulars of the candidates. Now, in relation to the second leg of your question, this commission has made it very clear that we will continue to deepen the use of technology in the electoral process. And that is why political parties now file the list and the personal particulars of their nominated candidates electronically. Civil society groups and the media file the list of the people they want to deploy as observers and to cover any of the elections electronically. And we also upload results from the polling units electronically. So we will continue to deepen the use of technology in the electoral process. But in relation to Anambra State, our main focus and our main concern as of today is one, to release the list of the new polling units that the commission has been working on for a pretty long time. And you know that for 25 years, no commission succeeded in bringing into being additional polling units in Nigeria. But this commission has broken that 25-year-old jinx. And by tomorrow, the chairman of the commission will unveil the list of these new polling units and where these polling units are. And we're also going to commence the continuous voter registration exercise nationwide from the 28th day of June this year. But as you know, since Anambra has an election coming up, the commission intends to pay some more attention to Anambra State. But we are going to pay that attention after discussing with the critical stakeholders relating to the security situation in some states of the Federation. So we are mapping out an elaborate program of technological development in relation to our electoral process. We want to comply with both regional and international standards in election management and election organization.
It's good that you're giving this information into some of the things that you are introducing ahead of this election. But quickly, let me get your view. Since you're a lawyer, you probably will be able to answer this question appropriately. Has INEC been able to back the new creation of polling unit by law, since you are experimenting with it in Anambra?
No, both the Constitution and the Electoral Act 2010 as amended gives the Independent National Electoral Commission the exclusive right, the exclusive power to create new polling units and allot voters to them. So the power is already given. What we did in terms of the consultations we did was that we wanted to carry all the major stakeholders along. We wanted to be open, we wanted to be transparent, we wanted to be consultative, and we also wanted to be very, very inclusive. And that was why we consulted and consulted widely. This was to obviate some of the challenges previous commissions had in terms of public perception relating to what we intend to do and what we were doing. So we decided to consult and consult widely, but ultimately the power to create polling units and allow voters to them resides exclusively with the Independent National Electoral Commission, and we don't share that particular power with any other organ or any other agency or any other commission.
Totally agreed that you are empowered by law to do that. But one thing, as a lawyer, of course, that you also need to clarify to us tonight is that the number of states in Nigeria are captured in Nigerian law. The number of local governments are captured in Nigerian law. And under the Nigerian election law also, the capture is also captured the number of polling units. And so that is the area that I want you also to tackle or talk to us about. Has the number that you have created been captured, gazetted, if that is a word that lawyers want to use? But I know that the existing, the old polling unit numbers are also captured under the electoral law.
No. You see, if you look at the law very well, you will see that the Electoral Act gives the commission the exclusive right to create additional polling units and allow voters to those polling units. In fact, previously, there was a time in this particular country where electoral officers, the equivalent of electoral officers, were the ones creating polling units. You don't need to refer it to anybody. The moment the number of registered voters reach a certain threshold, you just create an additional polling unit, and then you go on. But as you know, we created baby polling units, it didn't solve our problem. We created voting points and voting point settlements, it didn't solve the problem. So this commission decided to create these new polling units, and then not only converting the voting points and voting point settlements into full-fledged polling units, we also decided to remove some of them and take them to either unserved or underserved areas. So that's exactly what we have.
All right.
What we have done.
Okay.
So this commission, yeah.
All right, so on a final note, this is very critical also. I know some political parties now have national crises. And for example, the AA there seems to be some issues with our political party Action Alliance. Can you confirm to us who is the national chairman of the party as recognized by INEC? Similar thing with APGA right now. There seems to be some issues with the leadership of the party. Who does INEC recognize as APGA national chairman? Same with AA. If you can quickly answer those questions.
Well, you know that before a political party is registered in Nigeria, that particular political party has to submit to the commission their constitution and their rules and their regulations. And if at any time there's an amendment to their constitution, that particular amendment must be filed with the commission. Now, any political party that wants to organize a congress, a convention for the purposes of either electing party executives or electing candidates to run for various political offices gives the commission notice, and the commission goes to monitor it. So what we have in the commission as of today are the list and particulars of the members of the National Executive Committee of the various political parties as monitored by the commission. So in relation to whether any political party has challenge or not, I don't have an indication relating to that because I don't.
All right.
I'm not even aware that any political party has challenge.
We are the gatekeepers that we know. We have access to some of this information. We know what is happening on the field. We know that they have crisis. We're out of time. But we know that the national body of the party is the one that is guaranteed or that is allowed by law to submit names of candidates. They are the ones that can conduct primaries. So it's also very important to know which of these factions you recognize. It will be good if INEC can clarify that. But we're out of time. If you can give us a 10 seconds final word on that.
Well, at a subsequent program, if you invite me, I'll be in a position to clarify that.
Very good answer from a lawyer who wouldn't want to commit himself. Mr. Festus Okoye, National Commissioner for INEC on the voter education and publicity. Thank you so much for the education and information tonight.
Thank you so much.
And that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Seun Okinbaloye. Bye for now.